Hi, I'm 42 years old. I want to share a terrifying encounter I had with a homeless person. It was a Saturday night, and I was walking home from a friend's party. The night was pitch black, and the streets were eerily quiet. The party had been great. It was a small gathering of close friends, celebrating my buddy's new job. We laughed, shared stories, and had a few drinks. I wasn't drunk, just pleasantly buzzed. The air was cool as I stepped out, and I decided to walk the few blocks home to clear my head and enjoy the night air. The neighborhood was usually safe, and the walk was familiar. As I passed an alley, I heard a faint rustling noise. It sounded like someone moving through the garbage. I glanced over my shoulder but saw nothing and shrugged it off as a stray cat. I picked up my pace, feeling a bit uneasy. The kind of unease that makes your skin prickle and your senses heighten. Then I heard it. Footsteps. At first they were faint, almost in sync with mine, but soon they became more pronounced, and I could hear the distinct crunch of gravel under heavy boots. I turned around, my heart racing, but there was no one there. Just the empty street and the dim glow of a distant street lamp. I told myself I was being paranoid and kept walking, but the footsteps started again, this time louder and faster. Panic set in, and I quickened my pace, turning the next corner in a desperate attempt to lose whoever or whatever was following me. That's when I heard the chuckle. Low, guttural, and menacing. I stopped dead in my tracks, my heart pounding in my chest. I turned slowly, and there he was, a homeless man standing in the shadows. His clothes were dirty and torn, his hair a wild, unkempt mess, and his eyes were filled with a crazed intensity. He grinned at me, a grin that sent chills down my spine. "Lost, are we?" he said, his voice dripping with malice. My mouth went dry and I took a step back, feeling the overwhelming urge to run, but my legs felt like they were made of lead. He took a step forward, closing the distance between us. "You shouldn't be out here, you know. Dangerous things lurk in the dark." The fear was paralyzing, but instinct kicked in. I turned and ran as fast as I could, my heart pounding in my ears. His laughter echoed behind me, growing louder and more twisted with each step I took. I could hear his footsteps pounding the pavement, chasing after me. I didn't dare look back. I reached my house, my hands shaking as I fumbled with my keys. I glanced over my shoulder and saw him standing at the end of the street, watching me with that same terrifying grin. I slammed the door shut and leaned against it, my chest heaving. I don't know what he wanted or why he was following me, but I'll never forget his face, and I'll never walk that road alone at night again. A few weeks later, I saw his face on the news. He had been arrested, caught after attacking someone else. He was a wanted serial killer, preying on late-night wanderers. The police said he had a history of violence and mental instability. I realized how lucky I had been to get away that night. Sometimes the scariest monsters aren't the ones hiding under your bed or lurking in the closet. They're the ones you pass by on the street, the ones who blend in with the shadows.